All right, we good, we good, we good. All right, perfect. All right, so we're in a uptrend. So when we're in an uptrend, we're looking for what? We're looking for buys or sells. What are we looking for? Let me know in the chat. What are we looking for in an uptrend? Looking for buys. So already you already got a bias of how the market is moving. You know you're looking for buys. So if you see this is happening, you're not looking for no sells. This is where patience comes into play. You want to be patient and you want to wait for what? Pullbacks, aka retracements. You're just looking for those to enter the market. All right. So we have our different tools to identify and see we're in the uptrend. All right. So you're going to start utilizing these things. Boom. We're in the uptrend. Cool. So looking at this now, we could go down to our different time frames. We're looking for certain areas for market to come back to respect before we look for another buy. If we're looking on the day right now, I'm looking at this. And one thing that Alex teaches us, he teaches us break. We need price to break certain areas, and we need it for what? The retest. You see price, this was a nice little resistance right here. It was a nice little resistance until it finally got broken. Once it got broken, we're waiting for it to come down here to retest it. If we're looking at the day, this is swing trades. This one we get to swing trades. We got different kind of traders, family. When we're looking at swing trades, we're looking for price to come back down here, boom, have a reaction, and shoot back up. All right. So now we might look at the charts. Now we're looking at our signals. A lot of people are in here and they're telling me they're not even taking the signals. That is crazy to me, right? So I took a picture of this. We have Victoria. She went crazy this past week, crazy with her call outs. So EJ, for example, she says swing trade. This is why I show you the daily swing trade. And she puts your stop loss is daily close above. Looking for a sell. I want you guys to understand this when you see this. I want you guys to understand what you're seeing. So EJ, Euro JPY, sell, swing trade, which is you're going to be in the trade for a day, 2 days, 3 days. These are big movements. You're going to make a lot of pips. So these are big movements. And then she has the stop loss daily close above. All right. Then she gave another play right here, London play, EJ sell, aggressive is the 156.50. Modest is the 156.80. So these are two entry points right here, family. Very important. If you see this right here, you have the aggressive and your modest. And let's say you're doing a 0.20 lot size, right? A 0.20 lot size you want to do. And it goes to your aggressive. You don't want to do a 0.20 on your aggressive. All right. You don't want to do a 0.20. You want to split your lot size. This is something that Alex speaks on all the time. What does it mean to split your lot size? All right. For example, if it gets to the aggressive, you do a 0.10. Do a 0.10. If it goes to the back of your zone now to your modest, you do another 0.10. And together, that is your 0.20. So now you're not over leveraging. You're not going crazy. If price shoots to the back of your zone, you're not biting your nails all nervous because you know you're still doing proper risk management. So super, super important. So let's take a look at this play right here on the 1 hour time frame, right? 1 hour time frame. So we're going to go to the 1 hour. We're going to go to the 1 hour, family. All right, we're on the 1 hour. She mentions right here, aggressive is 156.50. So right here somewhere is the aggressive. The modest is 15680 up here. All right. Stop loss. Stop loss is if it closes above 157.00, which is where? Let's identify where that is. All right. Let's identify where that is, family. Boom, somewhere here. All right. Everybody sees this. This is clear. If it closes above. So for example, if this trade would have came up here like this, boom, 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 got to here, but it didn't close. Let's say you had 20 more minutes in this 1 hour candle, 20 more minutes, you're still in this trade, family. Because what will often happen is this. It's up here above your stop loss. with 20 minutes, and then it closes right here. And it closes right here. And guess what? Your trade is still active. For the people that got nervous up here and closed it because they seen it, they'd have been knocked out the trade. And then it would have been right back here and wouldn't have closed above. Does that make sense? Drop a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. Drop a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. This is what it means when it says wait for the close above, and below is just the opposite. Wait for the close below. All right, drop a 2 in the chat. So you'll see Victoria. What does that mean? We don't enter a stop loss from the get-go. No, exactly. You don't enter a stop loss from the get-go. No, Carla. All right, you don't. You're just following what the team leader is pushing out. So your stop loss is if the hour closes above. That is your stop loss. So now I'm gonna give you a little cheat, how you could monitor this. So let's say you're on the go, and let's say 6:13 p.m. right now. So the next hour is 7 p.m., right? You could set your alarm for 7 p.m. Your alarm goes off, you go to your TradingView, you see, is it above, is it below? Let's say you go back at 7 p.m. and it closed above. Guess what you want to do? You want to close out the trade. Close out. You're out of it. If you go back at 7 p.m. and it shot up and it closed below, you good. You know what I mean? You good. You're still active. You're still live in this trade. All right. I actually broke even on that trade. Can you tell me what I did wrong? I have no idea what you did wrong because I have to see exactly where you entered. I think we spoke about this before, Denor, if I'm not mistaken. We spoke about this and you messed up. I think you said you put your stop loss there. You put your stop loss. You didn't wait for the close, if I'm not mistaken. All right. But what if it goes above your daily risk percentage for that day? Still write it out? That's a great question. So your daily risk, and we tell people to do 1 to 2% risk to reward, your risk for each trade, 1 to 2%. I'm gonna get to your question, Denor, in a second. We tell people to do 1 to 2%. So if you're doing a 1 to 2%, let's say you're doing a 2% risk, and it shoots above, you're still waiting for the close. If you're going to take the trade and follow the team leader, you got to take it and follow them to a T, right? If this is something that makes you nervous, for example, if this makes you nervous, then I would say set your stop loss then. Set your stop loss. So if the stop loss, it says 157 above, and this is something that makes you nervous, all right, cool. Set your stop loss for 157.00. You know, what do you do to close? When you want to close, you just go to your MT4, and I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna show you that. You just go to your MT4 and you just press close trade. I'm gonna show you that when I share my screen on my phone. You close trade. I had to set the stop loss. I told you set it, Denor, but I just want you guys to see that. So Victoria does it on the 1 hour you seen on the day. Alex does it on gold. He does it for the 4 hours. So same concept, 4 hour family. Let's say it was the 4 hour. And let's say you got 2 hours and 20 minutes left until this 4 hour closes. And this trade is up here and you're nervous. Either you're going to follow what the team leader is doing, or you're just not going to take these kind of plays. All right. So for me, for example, if I'm going to sleep and I have like 2.5 hours left in this trade, I'm going to set my alarm to wake me up in 2 hours so I can monitor the trade, see where it's at, and then I'll go back to sleep. That's me personally. All right. So that's one little hack that I use. I set my alarm. I wake up. Once the 4 hour closes, I see where the trade is at. If I want to be in the trade still, if I want to get out. All right. Let me know if that makes sense, fam. Drop a 5 in the chat if that makes sense. So would you set your stop loss? If I'm following the team leader, I'm following their trade to a T. All right. So right here it says stop loss, hour closes above. If it doesn't close above, I'm not setting a stop loss. I'm not getting out the trade. All right. So that's all that is, family. That's all that is. I just want y'all to get a good idea of what they mean when they said wait to the close above or wait to the close below. That's all it means. There's nothing else. We don't have to complicate it. That's all it means, family. All right. You have any questions on that before I move on? Let me know if you have any question on that before I move on, family. Have anybody seen T-Track in Market Pro? Does anyone use it? I don't think so. I don't use it personally. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. Let's move on to the next thing. All right. TPs. People ask me why and where do they take TPs, right? And it's very simple, especially when you start to mark up your own trades. Let's say we're on the 1 hour, we're looking for the sell right now, right? From here, we caught it from here, we're dropping down, right? Boom, let's erase that. So we're right here, we caught the sell, and you're looking at, all right, where should my TPs be? So for example, this could be an area you always want to look for the previous pivot. These are pivot points. When market comes down and change direction, these are called your pivots. So this is a low right here. This is a TP. You want this area. Why? Because it could have a reaction. I think BK just mentioned it today in the signals channel. Why is it important to have TPs at these decision areas? So this is considered a decision area. And if you saw, it was for US 30, if I'm not mistaken. It came right to TP2, hit the decision area, and shot right back up. So it's very important to identify where these decision areas. All right. So right here, this is a pivot. Price came down, changed direction. All right. Boom. That's the area that I'm looking at to jump out for a TP. What is another area? All these pivots. All right. Could look at this as a pivot right here. This is another 30 pips away. Right. This is another, how many pips is this from here? Another 30. All right. Hope this makes sense, family. So these will be your areas you're trying to jump out the trades for TPs because it shot up, and often price is going to come back and test these previous pivots. That's what happens, family. It's going to often comes back to test these previous pivots. All right. Does that make sense? When you're marking up your own charts and you're looking where to jump out these trades, you can utilize the 1 hour to 30 minutes to see these areas to jump out of trades, family. All right. Let me see the chat. Drop a 6 if this makes sense in the chat, family. Drop a 6 if this makes sense. Drop a 6, family, if this makes sense. Perfect, perfect. If you have any questions, you could unmute yourself too and ask if that's a lot easier. The 1 hour and 30 minutes more for scalping? No. So when you're scalping, you're on the 15, the 5, and the 1 minute. You're in and out, in and out. When you go to the 4 hour, 1 hour and 30 minutes, that's more like a day trader. You know, you start at your 4 hour, then you go down to your 1 hour. Sometimes you hop into 30 minutes to get those optimal entry points. That is more like a day trade. You're just trying to trade for a couple hours, no longer than a day. When you jump into your week, your day to your 4 hour, now that's typically when you're looking to swing these trades for a long period of time. Am I calling certain candles a pivot? No, no. All right. Good question. Good question. Let me get this out the way real quick. Get this out the way. Let me get this replay out the way. Boom. Let's get replay mode out the way. Y'all still, can you still hear me? Hope this Wi-Fi is still good. We still good? We still good? I think we still good. All right. So what are pivots? Let's go to the 1 hour. All right, let's go to the 1 hour. All right, so these are examples of pivots. When price is shooting down and change of direction. So it's coming down. This is the change of direction right here. Boom. That's considered a pivot. Pivot. All right. These are little pivots. All right. Do you see that? This right here. Change of direction. Boom. Boom. Change. Change. These are considered pivots. All right. What would often happens at these areas right here, when price comes down, it's going to have a decision at these areas. It often happens, right? Often happens. And this is why it's very important to do a lot of back testing on your own. It's super important because you could take notes, you could watch this video 20 times, but if you're not jumping on these charts and back testing it and seeing what's happening in the past and how to apply it towards the future or present, then you're doing yourself a disservice. All right. So you'll see pivots all the time. You'll see pivots. I'm going to show you a couple more. Let me show you a couple more. One second. Let's get a good one. 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 Something quick. Boom. Just changing directions. These are your little pivot points, but you'll see it more when you're having a big push. Let's go to the 30 minutes. You'll see it more when you're having a real big push. You'll see these pivots a lot. So when you're trading and you mark up your area, depending on your time, if you're on the 4-hour time frame, you go down to your 30 minutes, you'll see a lot of these pivot points, family. And price will often come back once it breaks a pivot. Like right here, it broke it right here. All right, this pivot right here got broke, creating a new what? Creating a new high, right? Boom, broke it, creating a new high, comes back and tests it right here to create a new high. It got to continue to break it. So your pivots got to continue to break to create new highs. That's another thing, family. And once these new highs are being created, you're just being patient and waiting for it to come back to these pivots for you to re-enter. All right. So let's get to the next thing now. Very important. Very important. All right. Your lot size. How many y'all, before y'all enter a trade, you know how much you're risking exactly? How many y'all know that? How much you're risking exactly? Drop us 8 in the chat if you know exactly how much you're risking before you jump in the trade and you know what your lot size should be based on your account size. Drop an 8 in the chat, family. We're going to be honest, too. Nobody? So Caitlin, foreign, you know what your lot size should be. I just know my lot. Still, I use no idea. I just use Nash markets. I'll be honest. Okay. So it's very important because before you enter a trade, you want to know how much you're going to win. You want to know how much you're going to lose, right? I think that's very important to know. That's very important to know. All right. I have the chart, but I don't use it. So for example, all right, let me show you this tool right here. Very important tool. All right. And it's right here. It's called your long position or your short position. Long position means a buy. When you're looking for a buy, it's going to tell you your stop loss and your TP and your pips from each, from your entry to your stop loss or your entry to your TP. It's going to tell you how much pips you're risking. So short is sell. So we're going to do a sell. Let's say we entered right here. And our stop loss is going to be above this previous high right here. This is previous wick is our high. You put it above. It tells you you're risking 48 pips right here. 48 pips. And let's say your TP was down here. All right. It tells you your reward is 124 pips. All right. So you're risking 48 to win 124. So that is a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward. Does that make sense, family? Let me go down a little bit. I'm gonna give you a 1.1 to 3. 1 to 3. All right. So this is a 1 to 3 now. You're risking 48 to win 146. Why is that important? And I always give this example. You can do this on TradingView. Yeah, this is just a long position, short position. So I always have everybody, this is their toolbox. I call this your toolbox. So certain tools I favorite and I star and I keep it here. All right. So I have my path, I have my trend line, horizontal line, the ray, your rectangle, your ellipse, my fib retracement, and I have these two tools right here, long position, short position. All right. So 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. Why is that important? I'm gonna give you a quick example. I always do this example. Let's say you're taking 5 trades, right? You're taking 5 trades and your stop loss is $20. If it hits your stop loss, you'll lose $20, right? But if it hits your TP, you'll win 60. All right. So that's a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. Everybody with me? Let's say you lost 3 out of the 5 trades. If you lost 3 and your stop loss was $20 and it hit your stop loss 3 times, how much money did you lose? Drop in the chat. Let me know how much money you just lost. Drop in the chat, family. Drop it in the chat. Let me see all my people that's good with math. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. 60. You just lost $60, right? All right, you lost 60. But the other 2 trades, you won. You won the other 2 trades, which were $60 for TP, and you won both of them. So how much did you just win? Those 2. How much did you win? $120. Perfect. $120. So now let's do the math. You lost 3 out of 5, but you're still profitable. How much? You lost 3 out of 5, but you're still profitable. How much? How much did you make in profit? $60. There you go, Ange. This is why it's very important to have a proper risk to reward ratio. So when you notice in the signals channel, when they're calling out these trades, they're giving us some nice risk to reward ratio, especially Mo. If you see Mo call outs, and Mo utilizes order blocks and he does a lot of swing trades. So when he swing trades, he might do a 1-to-9 risk to reward ratio, like something crazy. So that's why Mo doesn't have to trade 10 times a week. He might do 2 trades, but his 2 trades are like some monster swing trades where he's really utilizing and making a lot of, he's gaining a lot of pips, if that makes sense. All right. Drop it down in the chat if that just made sense, family. Once you could get these good risk reward ratios, you don't have to get in 10, 20 trades. You could really utilize 1 trade and just ride it all the way down. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So we're going to get to our next thing, family. So when it comes to lot size, all right, before I got off track, very important. All right. Lot size, lot. Let's go. Sorry for the noise, family. 0.01, right? This is the lowest lot size you could put, a 0.01. When we talk about currencies, though, this is strictly for currencies. 0.01, I tell people the easiest way to calculate how much you're going to be risking per pip, because your lot size correlates with your pips, right? Keep that in mind. Based on your lot size, it's going to tell you how much money you're risking per pip, all right? So the easiest thing I tell people is bring this decimal over 1 place to the right. Bring it over 1 place to the right. So if you bring it over 1 place to the right, that becomes what now? It becomes 0.10, right? And that equals 10 cents per pip. I just want y'all to see that. A 0.10 lot size, move it over 1 place to the right, it's now 0.10, right? Keep that in mind, which is 10 cents. So you're risking 10 cents per pip. All right, let's do another one. If it's 0.10 lot size you're doing, I just want you to mentally bring that decimal over 1 place to the right, which now becomes 1.0, which is equals to what? $1. So that's the quickest way to really calculate how much you're risking per pip. Does that make sense, family? Drop a 10 in the chat if that makes sense. Drop a 10. Drop a 10, family. All right, drop a 10. All right, so you see Alex is out there and he has 0.50 lot size, right? He got a 0.50. That means he's risking how much? Let me see if y'all got this. How much is he risking per pip? If he got a 0.50 lot size, how much is he risking per pip? Let me see if y'all got it. $5. There you go. It's that simple, family. $5. So now, now we're gonna get into it now quickly. Let's say 2% of your account, right? 2% of your account equals to $20. 2% of your account, $20. And that's how much you want to risk. 2% of your account is $20. And let's say Mo puts out there in the signals and he says, we're risking 20 pips, right? 20 pips. That is our stop loss. All right. And your risk is $20. How much should your lot size be then? If it's $20 is your risk. And he just put out there a 20 pip stop loss. So that means, okay, and should be $1 a pip. Okay. So what should the lot size be then if it's $1 a pip? 0.1. I see the 0.1. There we go. It's 0.10. 0.1. Right? Does that make sense, family? I want y'all to get that. This is the quick way to calculate it in your head. Quick way. All right. That was a quick math. Boom. Right? But say you can't calculate it. Some people, it takes them harder time to calculate it. We could do this. This is called Forex Thrive. How to access this is you go to My Products, go to Research and Alerts, go to Forex Thrive right here, and scroll down. They got a position size calculator. Or some people like to use a Nash calculator, either way, But we click on this right here. And let's say, I'm gonna erase all of this real quick. Let's erase all of this. All right. So let's say your account size is 1,000, right? 1,000. And you're risking 1%. You say, you know what? I don't want to risk no more than 1%. All right. So 1% of 1,000 is how much you're risking. Who knows? Who could tell me? 1% of 1,000. All right. $10. You already know I should be risking $10 maximum. Right. So now let's say a team leader calls out a stop loss of 30 pips. Right? 30 pips. He gives it to you. Stop loss, 30 pips. Your currency, let's say it's USD CAD. It don't matter. All right. From here, you're able to calculate, and it tells you your amount you're risking, $10 right here. And your lot size, it tells you what it should be. It should be 0.044. So let's say 0.04. You could put 0.05. That's where your lot size should be in that area. Does that make sense? Drop some fire in the chat if that makes sense. And this is easy to calculate this way, family. Drop some fire in the chat. Drop some fire in the chat. Let's get it. Very quick. So now this is the first step. You don't want to ever enter any trade without knowing how much you're risking and how much your lot size should be. It just doesn't make sense because now you're just out there winging it. All right. So if you want to split, all right. Hey, I love that question, Carla. That's a great question. But then you want to split it. So if you're doing a 0.0, let's say a 0.05, right? And you want to split that, you could do, let's say 0.03 or 0.02 at your aggressive, and let's say 0.03 at your modest. That makes sense? 0.02 at your aggressive. All right, I go a little lower at my aggressive. But if it gets to my modest, I'm gonna do a little bit heavier at the 0.03. Let me know if that makes sense, Carla. That's a great question. That's a great question. All right. What else? What else I want to show you guys? All right. So yeah, take full advantage of this. If you have any questions, let me know. Please let me know. We were at 36 minutes in. I said we're gonna keep it at 45. Don't mute yourself if you have any questions, family. Do you guys have any questions relating to how to take these trades that I didn't answer yet? Because I know a lot of new members, y'all hit me up with all kind of questions. So if y'all have any questions, let me know right now so I could break it down real quick. All right. Let me log in on my phone. But this is the last part I want to do. I want to show you this part. I got to log in on my phone real quick so I can show you guys. See. Some trades don't go down to 0.01. Why is that? Some trades don't go down to 0.01. You sure? Like which one? Which one would you say that doesn't go down to 0.01? It happens to US 30. Um, so do you put 0.01 and it doesn't take your trade? Is that what you're saying, Carla? You put it at 0.01, it rejects it. Let me know if that's what you're trying to say. You can unmute yourself, Carla. And chop it up with me. You can unmute yourself and chop it up with me.
Hey. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me or how I'm using the MetaTrader app, but like sometimes or most of the time I'm trading 0.1 on US 30, and I don't know. And when I'm trying to close it out, like in my head, it seems that it's not letting me go lower than 0.1 to close out.
It closes out, right? Is that what you're saying?
Like it won't let me subtract 0.01.
All right.
When
So
I'm
how
at
big is your
0.1.
account size?
How big is my what?
Your account size. What's your account size?
1,000.
Okay. So what it could be is 0.01 is too big for your account size. So that's why we tell people to do what? To utilize the mini. If you have like a 500 or 1,000, you put it in, but that thing will not go through because US 30 moves fast. And if it goes the other way on you, you could blow a $1,000 account in 2 minutes, 1 minute.
I see. Yeah,
So
I'm
I
gonna
think
get
that
used
is the
to.
situation for you. I think that could be it.
Yeah, I need to start all the minis.
Yeah,
Thank you for
yeah.
that.
So yeah, utilize that mini or stay away from US 30 till your account grow to at least like 3,000, 5,000. Then you could go back and talk to US 30 after that. All right, we got somebody hand raised. Let me see. Utilia, go ahead. If you have a question, go ahead.
Yes, sir. That's why I wrote a question earlier, and I was saying
Give me one
which
second. 1 second. Why is it so low? 1 second. I could barely hear people right now. 1 second. I'm sorry, family. 1 second. Input volume on output. Output volume. Okay, that's what it was. Uh, Give me 1 second, family. 1 second. 1 second. This is driving me crazy. Speaker. Boom. Go ahead. Can let me see if I can hear you now.
thank you.
All right, perfect.
I wrote a question earlier, and I was saying which brokers will allow us to trade minis, because I've got a broker. I've got two brokers, and I can't even trade 0.01 on NAS and US 30, and yeah,
Okay.
many
All right.
more.
Got you. All right. Great question. So the broker we utilize here in OBG is called FX Sway. FX Sway. All right. So that's the only broker I use. So I can't, talk about other brokers, but for FX Sway, you're able to do all the minis and you're able to go down to 0.01 with no problem.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. I appreciate the questions, family. I appreciate the questions. Let me share my screen on this phone so I can get this part. If you have any other questions, y'all can unmute yourself and chop it up. I love interactive calls. If you've been on my calls before, I love interactive calls. Let me stop share. I'm gonna share my phone. Let's see. Yep. 1 second. Let me connect this real quick, family. So the importance of these basic calls is just to get y'all ready. So when y'all jump on these live calls and they calling out these trades and they pushing out these different trade ideas, boom, y'all ready to rock and roll because you've been on the call with Adrian and Adrian got you right. All right. So let me share my screen on my phone. All right, cool. All right, so to enter these trades, is anybody here having problems or not understanding how to enter these trades? LC, hey, that's my twin right there, y'all. Lawrence Cash. He's just a shorter version of me. What's going on, LC?
Not a whole much, man. Just dropping in, checking to see what you're doing.
Hey, man, always a pleasure having you on the calls, brother.
Yes, sir. My twin, taller version.
Yes, sir. So we have Robin. Robin says, me, can you help me find mini for US 30? All right, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So this is US 30. Let me get my picture out the way. US 30. Let me erase it. Then I'll show you how to get it. All right. All right, so I just erased it. So to get it, you just want to press this plus sign right here. If you logged in, make sure you logged in. Yeah, you can mute. Of course, of course. If you want to unmute, you can mute for sure. You can mute. So I have my call, my onboarding call with a video that shows how to set up all these pairs on your MetaTrader 4. This is where we actually trade and take these trades, family. Let me break down something to y'all real quick because I get this question a lot. They ask me what is the difference between the broker and the MT4. Very important to know. If there's no such thing as a dumb question, number one. So this is a good question that I came across. Your FXWay broker is just simply where you deposit your money. That's where you deposit it. You deposit your money, and then you connect your broker with your MT4 app. You connect it. So they're sync. This is where you actually take your trade right here. So let's say you made $2,000 today and you want to send that back to your broker. You will then just transfer from trader to your wallet. And now it's back in your FXWay broker. And from there, you can send that to your, your if you have a wallet on Cash App, you can send it there. If you want to send it to, Coinbase, wherever. But that broker is where that money is actually stored for you to send it back to you to spend. All right. So I hope that makes sense. All right. So from here, if you got it open right here and your phone is open, you want to press this plus sign, family. Press this plus sign. This is for FX MT4. This is MT4 I'm on. MT5, I've never utilized it. It's just like a fancier version of MT4, but I've never utilized it. So this is strictly for MT4. I'm not sure how MT5 setup looks, to be honest with you. All right. So if you're on the FXWay broker, you guys want to see, I'm going to send in the chat how to set up your FXWay broker and how to create your demo account, how to create your live account. I'll put that in the big chat after this call. It's very simple. If you don't have FXWay, it's very simple. All right. But from here, you just press this plus sign. This is what it's going to look like. You want to go down to where it says indexes, and there it is, US 30. Press the plus sign. That's it. That's simple. Go back. It says mini right here. Press the plus sign. All right. So the mini plus sign. To enter a trade now, let's say I have a problem with my demo MetaTrader 4. The plus sign doesn't work. Hit me up. Send me a message on Telegram. We'll jump on the call. I'll get you straightened out. I got you. All right. Let's say we're taking a trade. Let's say we're taking a trade. Let's say we're looking at gold, for example. What is the difference between mini versus non-mini? All right. Good question. So US 30, regular US 30, certain account size will not be able to hold those trades. So if you got a $500 or $1,000 account size, you will be not able to enter those trades because your account will be blown like that. It moves too fast. With a mini, a US 30 mini, you're able to trade at a fraction of the size, pretty much. All right. Hope that makes sense, Nadine. All right. So right here, let's say we're going to enter a trade. This is your first time entering a trade. You're seeing all these numbers. You're like, what does this mean? You're getting anxiety attack. First of all, calm down, take a deep breath. And we're just going to walk through this. All right. So it says market execution. What market execution means is you're just going to take the trade for what it is right now in the market. So the price right now for a sell is 1973.70. Did my thing just stop sharing? Okay, hold on one second to share this again. Share this again. It's stopping me from being great. All right, we good, we good, we good. Yep. All right. Go trade. All right, so for example, market execution means you're taking a trade for what it is right now in the market. We see the sell, the red, it says sell by market, is at 1973.90. Let's say Alex called it out and said, hey, at 1973, we're taking the trade. You just jump on and open your MT4 and you say, oh, it's at 1973.79. Yep, let me take this sell right now because Alex called out sell at 1973, right? So market execution, you're taking it right there. You see that 0.13? That is your lot size. We discussed that earlier. So your lot size, you could change it by pressing to the left, that minus 0.01. You press it, it takes off 0.01, right? If you press the first one, it's going to take off 0.1. So these are big increments now. So, all right, so let's go to all the way to the right where it says plus 0.1. You press that, look how it's going up. Every 0.1, it goes up. All right. So that's how you're able to identify what your lot size should be. Let's say your lot size for gold now. So keep in mind this, family. A 0.10, a 0.10 for a currency is not the same for as a 0.10 for gold, US 30. It's different measurements and different calculations. Keep that in mind. Very important. I don't want you to take your USD at a 0.10 and be like, okay, that's my lot size. And then you go to US 30 and do a 0.10 and your account gets blown in 2 seconds. Very important. So you got to be able to identify what is the calculation for gold really quick. 1973, if it moves to 1974, that is considered 10 pips. So 1973 and it goes to 1974, that is 10 pips. If we're doing this right now at 0.1, let's say 0.10 lot size, 1973 to 1974 is $10. Okay, keep that in mind, family. So from here, let's say you want to enter the market. I'm just going to do a live demonstration. I'm going to put it at the lowest because I don't want to go crazy. And let's say we're doing a sell. Let's press sell by market. Boom. You just entered right there. You just entered. Okay, you just entered. This is a live trade you're in now. You just entered. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's say we're looking at, and if you click market execution, once you click it, you'll get other options. So you click it, you're going to get a buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. All right, let's go through it real quick. What does a buy limit means? All right, what does a buy limit mean? So price is above, right? Price is above. Let's say price is at 1980, right? And Alex said we're doing a buy at 1974. It's at 1980 right now. So we're waiting for price to go down to 1974, and then the trade is executed and you're in that buy automatically because you set the buy limit and then you're going to enter the price. So it's at 1974. Let's say we want to enter at 1970, right? You enter your stop loss. Let's say if it goes to 1971, you want to get out the trade, and your TP, let's say it's at 1984. Make sure everything's good. Boom. No, it got to be lowered. So your stop loss would be at 1968, let's say. Your stop loss got to be lower than your price if you're looking for a buy. Okay? And that's it. You have your buy limit now. So you have it set up. You have your price, 1970. You're waiting for price to go down from 1974 to 1970. It's going to activate. Your stop loss is at 1968. This is just a quick example I'm doing, family. And then your take profit, let's say your take profit is at 1980. All right. These are your parameters you just set. You press place. So now you're waiting for price to go down from 1974.30. You see there on the right. If it goes down to 1970, you're going to enter this trade automatically. You're in there. So now you can go to work. You could go to work. You could go to the gym. You have your parameters set. You will be in this trade live until it hits your stop loss at 1968 or it hits your TP at 1980. Does that make sense, family? Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. I wasn't watching the chat in a while, so let me get back to the chat. Does that make sense? All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's say now you come back from the gym, right? You're live in a trade. You come back to the gym, and I'm gonna use the first one as an example. Let's say you set it for 1980 a TP. You set it for 1980, and it's at 1978, right? It's at 1978. It's not at 1980. It's at 1978, and you're up, let's say $80. You say, you know what? I want to take this $80, man. I don't got time to be waiting for this 1980. I'm up $80. You could click and hold and press close. All right. Press close. Right now, I'm in the L. I'm in the loss right now. So if you were up $80, it will say close with profit $80, and you press close. Drop a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. If you've seen that, let me do it again. Press and hold it. You're gonna press close. If you're up in profit, it's gonna say close with profit, $80, $50, whatever you up, whatever you in profit as, and you close it. You take your money, because at the end of the day, trust me, this is one thing I learned. All right, let's say you up $80, right? But your overall goal as TP is $100. Sometimes I'm not going to risk $20. I'm going to take that $80 and say, you know what? I'm good with $80. I just made $80. I'm done for the day. A lot of times people will be like, man, I got $80, but you know what? I need that 100. And they'll wait for it to go up to that. You've been there, of course. We all been there. They'll wait for it to go up that 20 more pips for gold for 1980. And what will happen? It'll go to 1979 and reverse and come all the way back down and knock you out at your entry. All right. So sometimes it's just smart to play it smart and take your profit when you up. Or one thing we always talk about is move your stop loss. It's called trailing stop loss. So if you had 1978 and you're going for that 1980, just move your stop loss up to, let's say, 1976. At least if it reverses on you, you guaranteed 60 pips. All right. If that makes sense, family, drop a 3 in the chat if that makes sense. And if I say something, I got to show you. So now I got to show you how to move your stop loss. All right. Let me show you how to move your stop loss, your trailing stop loss. This is it, fam. This is going to be the last one, I promise. We're at 55 minutes already. All right. So your stop loss now, I had it set at 1968, as you see right here. All right. 1968. So you go to modify, you click and hold and go to modify. Live on the trade, you could go modify. From here, you at 1978 right now. You say, you know what? I want to put this thing at 1976.5. And that's what you would put it at, 1976.5. If this thing reverses on me and comes back down from 1978 and hits 1976.5, all right, cool, I'm out the trade. I just made 60, let's say 65 pips. I'm up. All right. And you out. So that's, let's say, $65. You took your $65. It wasn't 100. It wasn't 80, but you still took $65. All right. So those are some things I want you guys to continue to utilize. Continue to hit your charts. Make sure you're marking up your charts. Make sure you're back testing. At the end of the day, these calls and taking notes doesn't mean nothing if you're not applying it. All right. If you have any questions, you can mute yourself. Let's chop it up real quick. Drop some fire if you got any value from this call, number one. Drop some fire in the chat, man. Drop some fire in the chat if you got any value from this call, family.
I need to hook up with you.
Who's that speaking? Who's that speaking? Who's that speaking?
Machiavelli.
My man Machiavelli. We got on the call last time. We had a good session last time, man.
Yeah, and I jumped in this late. I really got to hook up with you. Really, you're a good teacher, bro.
It's just I had a lot of good teachers around me, so I'm like a sponge. I soak up things very quick. But one thing about me, I go and I be up to 2, 3 a.m. I do a lot of back testing. That's just that's just a secret sauce, to be honest with you. You got to back test. You got to absorb what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and say, you know what? Adrian was talking about waiting for the break, wait for the retest, be patient. You know what? Let me mark this thing up right here and let me be patient. Let me see what happens.
Somebody in the chat just said your explanation is fire. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even know the simple thing on. There's some of the simple stuff. I didn't even know just till today.
Now it's all good. We was all there. You know what I mean? When
Yes,
I was
sir.
there, I didn't know all the stuff. So it takes time. So that's why I would say, I tell people, don't put additional pressure on yourself. It's gonna take a little time for you to really soak everything up. But once you
Absolutely.
soak it up and that switch flips, trust me, it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely gonna
Love,
reach out to you, brother. Definitely.
no problem. I'm here. I'm here. I love
Thank,
it. Love it.
thank
Love
you,
it. All
sir.
right. Y'all have a great day. Let me get back to these kiddos. I think we got another call coming up soon. Appreciate y'all jumping on the call, and I see y'all on Friday, 6 p.m. We're gonna touch on some more things, family. All right, y'all
Okay.
have a good one.
Thank you.